Welcome to another beautiful day in Jerusalem. We are at Kerem. Kerem in English, it will be the vineyard spring. It's a beautiful countryside area. It's actually a beautiful neighborhood of Jerusalem, not so far away from the temple. And you can see how green it is, and you can see that it's part of the mountains of Judea, of Jerusalem. And the story from the book of Luke tells us so many things about it. The first story will be about the nativity of John the Baptist, the birthplace of John the Baptist. Later on, Mary will meet Elizabeth here. And remember what King Herod tried to do to all the children until the age 2? Then even that story is mentioned here. Then for so many months, because of the coronavirus, the church was closed, and they promised me that they will open the church today. Then I'm going to be the first one today, or I don't know today, because they opened it 2 hours ago. And Kerem, it's a beautiful place of food, entertainment, and spirit. Let's cross the road without dying. And I do have some videos about it. I do have some videos about the church that we are going to visit, but it's not as beautiful as it's going to be today. Let's talk about the story. Zachariah was a priest from the Avia family. It's one of the 24 priest families. And he was married to a lovely, lovely lady from a priest family as well. She was from Heron family, and Heron was the first priest ever at the time of Moses. He helped Moses with Pharaoh. And in that case, we're talking about a very important priest family. Zachariah was at the temple, and it was his duty to pray in the Holy of the Holy. The Jews have, until today actually, 24 priest families, and every family has got 2 weeks in a way to be in charge of the temple. Then he entered to the temple, to the Holy of the Holy, alone. And he met Gabriel. I don't know about you, if you will meet an angel, I don't know about you, I will be so scared. The angel told him, don't be afraid. We know that you and Elizabeth, your wife, couldn't have children, couldn't bring children to that word. You couldn't because of medical problems and because you're old. But I promise you that you will have a son, and you will call him Yוחנן, which is John in English. Yוחנן, it's a word in Hebrew. It's difficult to explain it. God give you mercy, grace. God will help you in the way that He helped that holy family. Then in that case, he actually didn't believe him. Zachariah didn't believe the angel. He was so skeptic. So how do you know that it will happen? And because of it, the angel punished him. For that moment, he won't be able to speak. And when he went out of the Holy of the Holy at the Jewish temple, he couldn't speak. The people that were around him knew that something special happened to him. They knew that God talked to him, which was true. And that's happened. Elizabeth got pregnant, and at the 6th months of her pregnancy, she even met Mary. We will talk about it later on. Because now it's about the nativity of John the Baptist. In that matter, Zechariah had a boy, and all the village people actually knew about it. They were so happy. If you are talking about being happy, think about a woman, old woman that couldn't bring children. She was terrified. What the people of the city will say about it. Strange, isn't it? And when he was 8 days old, they had to circumcise him. And all the village came to hear. And if we're talking about the village, the Bible never mentioned it was in Keren. It just say a city or village in the mountains of Judea, very close to Jerusalem. And you can see the mountains. It can be. But before you will ask me, how do I know that is the village? We don't know. It's only at the 10th century they mentioned that place as the birthplace of John the Baptist. Why not to believe in it? Then in that matter, everyone knew the name of the child. The name of the child will be Zechariah Jr. But Elizabeth said, no, we will call him Yochanan, John. Oh, that is strange. Then at that moment, Zechariah wrote the name Yochanan on the billboard, and then immediately he started to talk, and that is the most beautiful prayer in the New Testament, the Benedictus. And you can see some versions of it in so many languages. See here the Arabic, the Greek, the Latin, but I will read the Hebrew. Why? Because you never read Hebrew before. I want you to hear it, because when he prayed in Hebrew. In Hebrew, we are starting to read from right to left. You do have the Benedictus in front of you. You know the Latin version or the English version, then just follow me. ברוך אדוני אלוהי ישראל, אשר פקד את עמו ופדות שלח לו והצמיח לנו קרן ישועה בבית דוד עבדו, כדבר אדוני מעולם ביד נביאיו הקדושים להושיענו מיד אויב ומיד כל שונא, לעשות חסד עם אבותינו ולזכור לעולם בריתו, אשר נשבע לאברהם אבינו, להצילנו מיד אויב. לתיתנו לעבדו בהן מורה, בקדושה ובצדק לפניו בכל ימינו. And that is important. ולך הילד, נביא אל עליון יקרא, כי לפניו תלך לפנות דרך לאדוני, להודיע ישועת אדוני לעמו, כי יסלח לחטאים. כרוב רחמיו עמנו, ודרך כוכב משמיים פקד יפקדנו, להאיר ליושבי חושך וצל מוות, ולשים פעמנו לדרך השלום. Let's talk about it. The first thing that you must understand is that Aaron and Moses were together. And Aaron is the grandfather of John the Baptist, and we believe that the new Moses will be Jesus. In that case, there is a correlation between it. The mission of is first of all is going to be is part of God. God turned him into a prophet, and his mission to tell the people of Israel that God will forgive them. Yehonotam, Yochanan, Islach Lechatam, from the word John, he will forgive them. It will be kind of a mercy forgive, which is the meaning of the word Yוחנן, imanu v'darach kocha mishamayim, and he is the one that will take out the people of Israel from darkness to the way of peace. Amazing. Then you can see the Latin version and the rest. I'm so happy to be here because at least 2 years I didn't touch the ground of that holy place. Let's talk about the site itself. We know that it used to be a Roman important place, maybe a temple, because we found some pagan statues, but most of the evidence are from the Byzantine time. The Crusader came to here, and Baldwin II, the king of Jerusalem, gave the Hospitaller that place. Why the Hospitaller? Because John is their hero, John the Baptist. Remember, by baptize yourself, you will die, and you will be born again to Christ, to Jesus. In that case, he will cure you. After the Crusade time, he'd been destroyed by the Muslims, and in the 14th century the Franciscans came to here once a week, but they couldn't stay here. In the 15th century the Muslims turned that place into a stable, and that is the situation until almost 19th century, 17th century. At 1480 the Franciscans who came to Israel renovated that place, but they couldn't live here. At 1621 they bought that land again, and still they've been here for 1 month, and they were kicked out of here, and the place became to be a stable again. The tower that you see right in front of you can see that it's newer than the church itself. It's from 1895, and the cross on top of it is from the same time. We'll see here, because until then we couldn't use crosses on churches. The Spanish came to here in the 19th century, and they came to here because the Ottomans were a little bit weak, and they needed help, and every European country tried to buy some new places from them, and that's why you will see that the church, which is originally the site is originally Crusader, looks like Spanish church. You will see blue tiles that they put at most of the columns, and a lot of beautiful painting from the Greek time, and one of them it's even from of El Greco. When the British came to here at the war, oh, that was funny. At the Second World War, they actually kicked out the people who lived here. They were Italian, you know, Italy was a little bit against Britain, and they turned that place into an army camp. Just like you can see cars inside that area, there were a lot of vehicles here, including cannons, and it actually destroyed the floor that you see, especially on that place. By destroying it, they could excavate and find so many things here. Suddenly the ancient remains are, you cannot see a lot of it, but this is the Byzantine. Let me see if I can see something from here. Can you see something? Difficult to see. But this is a Byzantine chapel, and to the right of it they found a mikveh. A mikveh is a Jewish ritual bath. The Jews used to purify their body until John the Baptist came. John the Baptist changed everything. They actually baptized the soul and not the body. The Jews used to baptize their body. They have to do that a few times. For example, once a week for the man and once a month for the ladies. But the Christians, until now, after they've been baptized, they died and born again to Christ, to Jesus. Then once in your lifetime, and he started with it. I won't go into the relationship between John the Baptist and Jesus. It all depends of which gospel you're reading, but the first one, let's say beside the synoptic one, talks about John the Baptist, who was supposed to baptize Jesus. He said, "I'm not the one." But at the book of John, John the Baptist, he had his own cult, different cult. And until today in Syria, there are few orders, Christian orders, that worship John the Baptist. Amazing, isn't it? From here you can see the Greek Orthodox, the Russian church. Let's go into the church and let's cross our fingers that they will let us talk. Remember, I didn't see them for like 2 years. I will put my mask on, then I hope that you will be able to hear me. Oh, they're renovating now? It looks like it. Yes, they are. It's difficult to see because there's no light there, but we found beautiful mosaic from the 5th century. And the inscription says, "Hail, ho, martyrs of God." We don't know, we know that it's from the 5th century because we found their crosses. And until the 5th century, you could design things with crosses on the floor. But then the Pope said, no, don't do that anymore. Crosses is not for fun. Then we know that there was a church here from the 5th century. We don't know if it's if they built it because of John the Baptist. The chapels that I show you later, before that, it's from the 8th century, and the one of the martyrs is from the 5th century. Then let's go in, let's see what we can see from here. You can see the blue tiles. Wow, now renovating. Historical movie. Beautiful. In the middle, you can see Mary, the mother, as a pregnant woman. Remember, she came to visit Elizabeth. What you cannot see now is the statues of St. Francis and Clara that used to be here until 1967, till 1962. So 1964, they used to pray. They used to divide the church into two. The holy things, like preparing the holy bread, was at the other side, and the priest, when he prayed, was right there with the back to you. Today, you can see that table. The priest is fronting us. Sadly, I cannot show you the paintings because they took it off. Oh, so pity. So sad. Let's go to the nativity site. I hope that everything, left it just like that. Because it's kind of a house building, you can see here the cave. And a lot of people lived in caves at that time. And you see that it looks like a carpet. That is the circumcision of John the Baptist. You see that Zachariah is going to write the name Yוחנן on it. John the Baptist. Jordan River. Here, John is actually Baptist Jesus himself. That is the nativity point. Mary is meeting Elizabeth. The birth of John. And the end of John. You can see the re-headed. Amazing, isn't it? You can see the cave. Look at the tiles. Wow, it's going to be so different. Oh, here it is. You can see Clara and Franciscus. Ancient paintings are gone. Then I will have to prepare another video of it later on. In that place, you could see a stone that we believe that John the Baptist used to sit on it and relax. And the story tells us that one of the Arabs, Muslim guys, wanted to turn that limestone into plaster. Then he started to burn it down, but his factory was burned down, the stone not. He realized that the stone is very important. Then he brought it back. Sadly, because of the renovation, they took it away as well, as I believe will bring it back. They have a wonderful organ here, but you cannot see a lot of it. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, nice breeze. Oh, what a nice breeze. There's a monastery attached to here. It's such an amazing place to stay. The only problem, to leave, to be here for a few days, but you need a car because it's the bus services are not so good. If you want to reach the old city, you have to take a taxi, and it's quite expensive. But it's beautiful, it's relaxing. If you want to rest, this is the place. Now, if you liked that video, I'm happy. Please subscribe my channel if you don't know me. If that's the first video of yours, I do have more than 19,000 videos of the Holy Land, and I will be more than happy if you will subscribe me. At the description, I will tell you a little bit about the church and a little bit more of the church and links that by them you will be able to contact me. Facebook, Instagram, you can ask me whatever you want. And lately, at the request of some of my Facebook followers, subscribers, I added link to buy me a coffee. I'm not working for, let's say, 1.5 years. And they try to help me by a little bit of donation. With that, I will be more than happy to pray for you and to light some candles in the church, and I will do that happily with or without buy me a coffee link. Then feel free to do that. I'm a little bit ashamed to talk about it because what can I tell you? I feel like a beggar in a way, but that will help me to add more videos to travel around Israel, those difficult days for me, and to create more and more videos for you. Then thank you very much. Love you.